Mr. Chairman, we bring you special greetings from the Secretariat of the Western of Ghana Conference. I am Pastor Gyedu Emmanuel, presenting on behalf of the Secretariat. Mr. Chair, for the purpose of this presentation, we're going to take the following outline: introduction, evangelism, statistics, ACMS, staffing and workforce, churches and districts, some special events, and then we will draw some conclusions to this particular presentation. If the ministries of the secular world meet for review, how much more should we as co-laborers with Christ in his vineyard meet to review the success and failures of the work he has committed to our charge? Se ewiase nipa empo etoda wohia ebu akonta ekire wo ho a emprendo sen na ensese yen ye nyankopon krofo nyame de adwuma sonko ahye nsa no ensese yen so yebu akonta ede ekire nyame enwankuo no. Mr. Chair, it is against this bedrock that I present to you a report which actually covers the period January 2021 to December 31, 2025, which, as I already said, will touch the following areas, objectives, evangelism, membership statistics, staffing, workforce, churches and districts, meetings and workshops, ACMS, transfers, year-end meetings, manpower development, course, appointments, special events, and finally, we are going to draw some conclusions in this particular presentation. Now, Mr. Chair, with regards to the territory of the Western North Ghana Conference, in fact, geographically, the Western North Ghana Conference territory is made up of 19 districts covering 9 political districts, namely the Bia East District, Bia West District, Bibiani Amiasu Bekwai Municipal Assembly, Bodi District, Sefia Kontomra District, Sefia Osu Municipal Assembly, Awowin District, Dwaboso District, and then the Swam and Dadieso District. Now, according to the Population and Housing Census of 2021, it is estimated that the population of the Western North region is around 880,855, which actually represents about 2.87% of the national, population. Now, out of this, number, about 451,948 males and then 428,973 females. The map below actually depicts the geographical territory of the Western North Ghana Conference, and for that matter, the Western North region. Now, objectives of the presentation. Mr. Chair, at the beginning of the Quinquennium, the Secretariat set for ourselves the following objectives. 1, to organize 20 companies into the sisterhood of churches. 2, to organize workshops for local church clerks within the Western North Ghana Conference on membership records keeping, minutes writing, transfers, and others. 3, to ordain pastors who are due for ordination into the gospel ministry, and then to enroll about 90% of church members onto the ACMS portal by the close of the Quinquennium. Again, we set for ourselves as part of our goals to beef up the workforce, by employing some additional workers onto the, to those that we already have. And then to create 2 districts in addition to the existing 17. Again, we set also for ourselves as part of our objectives, to create avenue for our pastors and for that matter, our workers within the conference, to further their education. That is manpower development. We also set for ourselves that we're going to have a net gain of about 20% in membership by the close of the reviewed period. Evangelism, Mr. Chair. During the period under review, there were a series of evangelistic campaigns conducted in various districts and in various forms, such as revivals, public campaigns, temple crusades, workshops, visitations, and virtual revival sessions. Now, through the help of our donors from the diaspora, we were able to conduct some mega conference-wide campaigns across the length and breadth of the Western of Ghana Conference. The following were some of the places that we actually, conducted some of these evangelistic efforts. Places like Asanriso District, Bunsunkwanta District, Junase District, Nzaura District, Bibiani District, then Bekwai, and then Buakun District. All of these places, Mr. Chair, by the grace of God, we were able to establish churches, in all these places that we actually conducted the conference-wide campaigns. In talking of evangelism, a mention should also be made of our donors from the Bracing City Seventh-day Adventist Church, who actually donated some motorcycles to our pastors so they can ease their visitations and then to reach out to places where vehicles could not actually access. And then we're hoping to extend this kind of motor distribution to the remaining districts that have not yet received baptisms or gains. Mr. Chair, there was a total baptism of 2,773 recorded for the period under review. Now below is the breakdown of the yearly baptisms recorded during these 5 years we are actually giving an account of. The year 2021 recorded a total baptism of 316. 2022 we had a total baptism of 431. Then 2023 we had a baptism of 779. 2024 we also recorded a total baptism of 508. Then in 2025 we recorded 739 as our total baptism for the year. Then membership statistics. Mr. Chair, we took over in 2021 with a membership of 16,587 in the year 2021. By the grace of God, by the end of the year 2025, the conference has grown to a membership of 19,064 during these 5 years. And so there was actually a total net of 2,477. That is the net gain. Because the net, nipa dodo a yede ombeka asafu ho no suba ebo ye nyina ya na ye 2,777 ya medi kan ho asem no nipa omufiri asori we mu ane omo a yenyu omuka ho nyina no otiti firi mu a na chese nipa yede ombeka asafu no ho no eye be se 2,477 eno ho asem na mekan. And the table below gives an in-depth analysis of the increase and then the decrease of membership quarterly. So from 2021 through 2025. And these are the breakdown. And so with regards to 2021, in fact, the baptism recorded in the year 2021 was 316. Then former member baptism 23, professional faith 0, letters in omo ye ji omo din free baby e ba ye conference mu na ye nipa nan me kire first quarter friends 2021 ho asem na mekan na nipa dodo enyu omo nyina no omo ji omo din free baby e ba ye ene wo mo a ye bo omo asuru nyina oka bo mu a ye 343 na ye nya omo e de omo be ka asafi membership ho. Now uyi no efiri ho a afi nipa nso a eji wondin efiri conference mu ekọ baby foforo ene wo mu a ewu ye efiri conference mu me kire nipa dodo a ye hwere wo mu no enso ho akontabu enie wo mu a wo je wo din ekọ conference ahodo eye nipa num nipa dodo a ewu ye eye the year 2021 eye nipa aduonu ensia me kire 26 nipa dodo a ya drop wo mu eye ensia wo mu a hwe wo na ye hu wo mu eye aduonu baako and afi adjustment so na eye nipa aduokron 90. And so there was a total loss of 148. Me kire wo mu ye ne wo mu gigi wo mu din ene saa for nyina 148. And so Mr. Chair, in the year 2021 there was a net increase in membership of 195 at the end of the year 2021. And that actually gave us a total, membership of 16,782. That is, the 16,587 plus the 195, giving us a total of 16,782, giving us a percentage increase of 1.175% to our membership. And so the year 2022, with regards to the increase, we had a total increase of 482. In 2022, so nipa dodo a yenya omo be kan asafo we hunu no dodo eye ahanan aduawatwe emienu na yede won be kan asafo yi ho na omo nso a womo efiri mum kire omo omo ji womo di na omo wuye enso eye aduoson enso 77. Enti saa aduoson enso no otifiri nipa dodo enya ye no mu a maye nipa ahanan ene nkron. There was a net increase in membership of 409. And so when you add the 409 to our already existing, membership, that actually made us to arrive at a membership of 17,191 for the year 2022. Mr. Chair, with regards to the year 2023, our net gain was 818. 818. If I don't do 2023, so I'm going cancer for you. Na ye 818. And now do one so a free mu. Me can't do a free mu. I'm sure more ju omo di ko ye na omo wu ye. Ene omo ehwe omo na ehu omo so na omo ye 77. 77. Nti the enya ye no ene the free mu no. Ni nyina no ti free mu a na kire se de be cancer for we hu no. Ebeka conference hu no 739. 739. So there was a total, our membership actually took us to 17,930 at the end of the year 2023. Mr. Chair, 2024, our increase was also 518. The increase was 518. Then the decrease was 88. And so there was, a net increase of 430. And that actually brought our membership to 18,360 for the year 2024. Then 2025 also, our increase was 747. Then our increase was 747. Our in the year 2025, our increase was 747 for the year 2025. Then the decrease was as well, 43. And so there was a net increase of 704. And that actually brought our membership to 19,064. And so, Mr. Chair, that the year 2025, there was a percentage increase of 4.0% at the end of the year 2025. Mr. Chair, with a beginning membership of 16,587 as at January, 2021, by the grace of God, we closed the Quinquennium with a membership of 19,064, representing 14.93% growth. And that is actually remarkable. Now below is the yearly membership for the period under review. A free 2021, equity 2025 nyina no said ye nipa dodo membership no ho akontabuo ne samle no ye bo no tofa said ye tie enie. 2021, our membership was 16,782. Then 2022, we increased to 17,191. 2023, our membership took us to 17,930. Then 2024, we had a membership of 18,327. Then in 2025, our membership was 19,064. And so in all, about 2,477 souls were actually added during the reviewed period. And this is actually a statistics of the membership of the various districts we have in the Western of Ghana Conference. Conference mu district bia ene nsori outwe wo mu ene nsori ya hye wonde ne wona ya hye wonde ene ye nipa dodo na mebobo so yi. Oko Adabo Kurom district, when you go to Adabo Kurom district, we have 7 churches and then 6 companies. And then their total membership is 470. That is Adabo Kurom district. Oko akontomra nsori ya hye wonde eye nson de en hye ne den eye dumiensa. Enti membership no eye 876 as anwiaso ensori ya hye wonde eye nwotwe de eye nhye ne den eye du baako o membership eye 1287 asanwe so de ya hye ne den eye nso de eye nhye ne den eye nwotwe o membership eye 901 asanwe so west de ya hye ne den eye nwotwe de eye nhye ne den eye num o membership eye 969 afi oba be kwai setwe be kwai de ya hye ne den sori ya hye wonde eye nwotwe de enhye wonde eye enum won dodo nyina eye 858 be kwai bibiani ensori ya hye wonde eye nkro de enhye ne den eye miensa won dodo nyina total membership eye 1736 then buako won membership eye nwotwe mekire ensori ya hye wonde eye nwotwe de enhye ne den eye du won dodo nyina eye 1276 boy so ensori ya hye wonde ye 9 de enhye ne den ye miensa wondodo nyina eye 596 bonsun kwanta de ya hye ne den eye num de enhye ne den eye nkro wondodo nyina eye 594 dade so de ya hye ne den ye nson de enhye ne den eye dumienu wondodo nyina eye 1316 then they be so organize eye 9 then companies 7 with a total membership of 937. Then when you go to Wngc, we have organized churches to be 6, then companies 8 with a total membership of 911. Then the same district on dodo sorry I show on the eye nwotwe the enhye ne din eye du wo membership nyina eye 1088. Afei oba dwaboso the ahye ne din eye nwotwe the enhye ne din eye nwotwe won dodo nyina eye 909 na yewo ewo dwaboso west the ahye ne din eye du baako the enhye ne din eye enum won dodo nyina eye 992 nzawura the ahye ne din eye nwotwe the enhye ne din eye du mienu won dodo nyina eye 871. Afei wi osonso the ahye ne din eye nkron the enhye ne din eye ensia won dodo nyina eye 1468 na yewo enti sa na district bia up to 2025 December 31 district ahodo nyina no wo mo sori ahodo wo mo wo ene de ahye wonde ne de ye hye wonde ene won dodo nyina ho akontabuo na mabu de akiremu yi. And so open nchichemu yi a in fact ya nyanto boase a break niema down ope se ohun memma dodo a ewo conference mu afibia eye memma dodo ne memma dodo 2021 2022 2023 2024 2025 ya ni nyina de amount na eye 2021 ya dodo na ye nipa dodo na conference mu nyina ya na eye 16782 no emu 8089 eye ema ena emu 8693 enso eye member. That is the year 2021. Over 2022 your membership year na ewo 17191 no emu dodo a eye ema emu dodo a eye member eye 8287 ena ema eye 8909. afei oba 2023 nso a na yen dodo no ye 17,930 enu mu nso no emu dodo ya na eye memma eye 8,643 ena afei emu dodo a ye emma nso eye 9,287 oba 2024 a yen total membership ya na eye 18,360 no emu dodo a na eye memma eye 8,850 8,850 ena na eye memma ena emu 9,510 eye emma afei uba 2025 a ye membership ye kodru 19,064 no 19,064 no emu dodo eye memma eye 9,189 ena emu 9,875 nso eye emma kire se conference mu nyina no emma dodo no edoso esen member emma dodo conference mu edoso esen member in fact we breaking it down emma dodo no nyina no eye 9,914 representing 52% of our total membership. Then the male side also eye 9,226 giving us a percentage of 48. Enti kire se emma dodo a ewo conference mu no edoso esen member dodo a ewo conference emu. And so Mr. Chair, we again took our time to give an analysis with regards to the year range distribution. And so per our numbers within the conference. And so when I talk of our numbers, I'm referring to the 19,064. When you actually arrange them, by years, from 12 years to 19 years, we had males, member dodo mu nipa wonye mfie dumienu ekosi donkron. Won dodo nyina eye 778. Nipa me kire we ya de ameka nyina no eye wo mo ayabo na so ami baptized Seventh Day Adventists, within the Western of Ghana territory. Ehun asem na meken. Enti omu dodo wonye mfihie du ekosi donkron no, wonyina dodo eye 778. Enumu no emu 342 eye member enemu 436 eye ma oba emfie aduonu ekosi aduonu kru metre 20 years nso a omdodo nyina eye 4,057 now out of this emu 1,830 eye member ena afi 2,227 so eye ma oba another year range from 30 to 39, Mr. Chair. This is actually the range in which most of our members do actually fall. And so from the ages 30 to 59, we have a total membership of 11,307. 11,307 actually falls into this category. And out of this 11,307, 5,447 are actually, males, whilst 5,860 are also females. And then from 60 plus, we have a total of 3,002. Out of the 3,002, 1,611 are actually males, whilst 1,391 are also females. And so that is actually the year distribution of our members within the Western of Ghana territory. Now, staffing and workforce. Afei, nipa dodo eno wa mo ye adwuma e wo conference mu enso ho akontabuo na yadu suyi. Mr. Chair, the table below shows the various categories of workers within the Western of Ghana conference. We have the ministerial credentials. Ye kan ministerial credentials are eye asofo no a ya hye won den ye de nsagu won so a hye won den won dodo e wo conference mu eye edunum 15 ordained ministers. That is the ministerial credentials. Then we have ministerial license. Asofo no so a ye no mo ye adwuma ye nhye won den no so no wo mo dodo eye ensia. Asofo a mo conference mu ye nhye won den dodo eye ensia. Then we have missionary credentials. Office staff for ye no mo conference mu ye adwuma e office ha na wo manya emfie num e kro no. Omna from say missionary credentials. omo nso no ye wonipa enan ena ewo saa category no mu ena omo office staff eno omo ha no omo nya emfie num ekro no that's omo nya afe ba ko ekosi emfie num no omo nso edodo eye mienu afei ye wonipa ba ko a owo ahomgye mu one retiree. Then we also have 4 contract workers. Then our part-timers are also 3. Mr. Chair, pastor-member ratio. Pastor-member ratio. Now, the pastor-member ratio is actually the proportion of pastors to church members, indicating how many members are served by each pastor. So, pastor-member ratio eye nipa dodo e wo conference mu a ye chiche mu a osofo ba kun bia nipa dodo a esese ohwe won so e wo conference mu. Now, as of December 31, 2025, na nipa asofo e wo conference mu nyina eye aduonu 20 pastors. Ena nipa dodo a ye wo conference mu asore ma nyina so ya bo na su eye 19,064. Enti o che 19,064 no emma asofo aduonu no a e kire se osofo ba kun bia ehwe asore ma 953 ahankro ene aduonum emiensa na asofo ba kun bia ehwe won so ewo Western of Ghana Conference mu e kire se nipa ba kun a asofo no pastor member ratio no ewo soro pa yie ya e kire se esese ye bo modern na ye pesika na ye fa asofo no bia kan ho sebe ya ye betumi achiche adwuma no mu ama asofo no nsa aso asorema no eso na afi watimi aye adwuma no na waye ne yie nti pastor member ratio no ho akontabuo na mabu ede akire. Then Adventist to non-Adventist ratio. Mr. Chair, the Adventist to non-Adventist ratio is actually the numerical comparison between the numbers, between the number of 7-day Adventists and then the number of people who are actually not 7-day Adventists in a given, population or area. And so the total number of people within the Western of region, and that is the Western of Ghana Conference, is actually 880,855 according to the year 2021 population and then housing census. Nipa dodo ewo region we emuno no 880,855. Ena eziafo ewo mu nyina so no se de ye di kan bobo so no ye dodo ye nya ya bo yasu no ye 19,064. This okoche sa nipa 19,064 emma 880,855 no a e kire se wuyi nipa aduanan mienu bia no a every 46 people within the Western of Ghana Conference ugrupu omo a emu baako ena oye SDA ni. And that actually gives us a very clear picture that we have a lot of work to do here in the conference. Where when you compare ours to some other conferences, I think ours is relatively low, but it's because our region is not all that overpopulated. That is why our ratios seem to be down. But we still have a lot of work to do over here in the Western of Ghana Conference. In fact, we have to increase our effort in reaching out to many souls so that we can actually decrease this particular Adventist to non-Adventist ratio. Church organization. Mr. Chair, at the beginning of the Quinquennium, we set for ourselves to organize at least 20 churches during these 5 years. And by the grace of God, 25 churches were organized during the reviewed period, representing 125% of our targeted goal. And the following were some of the churches that were organized during the reviewed period. We have, when you come to the Debiso district, we have churches like Elio Krom, Maranatha, Ano Krom, Papa Se, Akwe Krom, Asem Nyina Krom. The Debiso district did very well. They were able to organize 6 of their company churches, into the sisterhood of churches. And when you move to Adabo Krom district, we have churches like Camp Junction, Kwasare, Camp 15, Ahima Krom. They also did very well. Duaboso district did the same. We have churches like Bodi Paradise, Abrokofe, New Jerusalem, they were also organized in the Dwaboso district. Then when you actually move to the Buakun district, we have churches like the Ephraim Krum, and Yinabrem, and then Ochiami Krum. These 3 churches were also organized in the Buakun district. Then when you go to Uoso district, we have churches like Bopa, and then the Messiah Sanctuary. They were also organized in the Uoso district. Then Junase district, the Futa Church was also organized. Asanso district, we have churches like Abuaji Krum. Then Asanso West, we have Beria. Dadieso district, we have Nyamibechere. And then the same district, we have churches like Abesim and Sunwa Krum. Yeah, those 2 churches were organized in the same district. Then when we move to the Nzawra district, we actually organized the Asantemai, church. And so in all, a total of 25 churches were organized during the reviewed period. So, Mr. Chair, in all, 25 churches were organized into the sisterhood of churches during, this reviewed period. And that is actually remarkable. And so, workshops and meetings. In fact, our target was to participate in every external workshop organized, by the then Southern Ghana Union Conference. And then also to organize other meaningful internal workshops, locally. By the grace of God, we were able to participate in all union organized secretariat workshops. And then we were also able to organize our own internal workshops locally. In fact, a lot of workshops took place. One Union Secretariat Advisory meetings, the conference, secretariat took part in all SGUC Secretariat Advisory meetings organized every year throughout the Quinquennium. Then several other workshops were organized by the Secretariat almost in every district to train church secretaries, and then data entry managers on minutes writing, records keeping, data entries, and the work of the local church secretary. And this was done so as to equip our local church secretaries to function efficiently and then effectively. Again, Mr. Chair, the Western of Ghana Conference presented 55 people, including pastors and church secretaries, and then data entry managers, to the Secretariat Summit organized by the Southern Ghana Union Conference at Quakrum, the highest among all the conferences within the Union. In fact, this Secretariat Summit actually equipped pastors and church members on their, secretariat duties. Then, Adventist Church Management System, ACMS, target to enroll about 90% of church membership onto the ACMS by the end of the Quinquennium. Mr. Chair, by the grace of God, at the end of the Quinquennium, we were able to 100% enrollment. In fact, management of this ACMS has not been a tranquil. In fact, it has not been easy. Yet, amidst all the challenges, our Lord has been faithful and seen us through this revealed period. In fact, the implementation of the Adventist Church Management System began with intense promotion and action throughout the territory of the conference, but was met with some hostility from church members. Some actually perceived the system as 666. A lot more gave excuses. And then there were also some geographical locations, were also at disadvantage because of some telecommunication network challenges and then the rest. But Mr. Chair, the Secretariat when we took over in the year 2021, our total membership enrollment on the ACMS was 8,856, representing 53.4% of total enrollment. But in spite of all these challenges enumerated, by the grace of God, by the end of the Quinquennium, the conference could actually boast of 100.53% of data entries. Now, the implication of this is that currently, all Seventh-day Adventists, baptized Seventh-day Adventist members within the Western of Ghana Conference territory are all have their names onto the ACMS portal. And we want to actually, thank our able administrative secretary, Mr. Noah Fiado, for his hard work. In fact, aye adwuma bebrebe aboa amene asole ba biala ya gbona su no ni din e ACMS no so. Nti wo free ha tu kwan kwa America okọ ba bia na o kire se wo ye SDA ni a se nipa no kọ ACMS portal no so a okreke ya be se mpanian pa so mesie na so bentin ye SDA ni. Eda no Fiado aboa amene yetimi awie se adwuma nyina ye union mu with a few conferences are reaching 100%. No Western of Ghana Conference so eka ho bi. Ye de asedane no nyamhye nyina ema otumfo nyankopon. Then transfers, Mr. Chair. Target to make strategic transfers for due ministers and organize an orientation for them and their spouses. Achieved. All transferred ministers were actually oriented before moving to their stations. Asophobia ye be transfer no. Osofo no ne yere ye from mo eba office na ye orientation e de ma wo mo sebeya ba bi o mo kro no be mu se de adwuma no ete ene se de ho ete na in fact aboa ama asofo bia transfer bia no o mu nyina no e perform to the glory of God. Eno so no e ko so kama. In fact, asofo a transfer mo ye mfie no munyimu eni. We have Pastor Oseusu Bonsu, Pastor David Oseusu Bonsu. He was transferred from Anwiaso to Akontomra District. Pastor Isaac Ivy from Adabo Krom to Dadieso District. Pastor Elioteswa from Bonsunkwanta to Anwiaso District. Then Pastor Wilfred Kwansa from Akontomra to Bonsunkwanta District. We have Pastor, Joseph Nipa from the same district to Enche District. Pastor Nana Samuel Elion from Enche to BBN District. Then Pastor Mike Amankwa from Yoso District to Nzaura. Then Pastor Elijah Kufia Sante from the Asenso District to the Yoso District. Mid-year, and then end-of-year meetings. Our target was to participate and organize year-end and mid-year meetings. In fact, by the grace of God, we participated in all SGUC end-of-year and mid-year meetings, and then organized our own local versions of these, end-of-year and then mid-year meetings. By God's grace, we participated in all SUC meetings, and then we organized our own versions within the Western of Ghana Conference. And this was the period we actually gave report and then to assess the work and then the effectiveness of every single minister posted in each district of the Western of Ghana Conference. In fact, it's an occasion for actually an evaluation of each pastor's work in his district. Manpower development conference no assign editor no so say yebeboa ama yadwuma yefo assign anyanteteye akwanimu anyanimde bebrebe ede abeboa adwuma no. Mr. Chair, by the grace of God, the following people actually has received some form of sponsorship from the conference to actually further their studies. You have Pastor Emmanuel Gyedu, who actually went for Masters in Biblical and Theological Studies with emphasis in church history at the Adventist University of Africa. He has completed. Pastor Joseph Akamienza, Masters in Divinity at the Adventist University of Africa. He has also completed. Pastor Hayford Kwame Yeboah, Masters in Biblical and Theological Studies with emphasis in systematic theology at the Adventist University of Africa. He has also completed. Then Pastor Mike Amankwa, he also enrolled in Masters in Chaplaincy at the Adventist University of Africa. He has also completed. Then Pastor Vincent Che Mensah, he also got enrolled in postgraduate diploma in pastoral studies at the Babcock University. He has also completed. Then Pastor Henry Kwesiminta, he is actually undertaking masters in public health. Since he's the health ministry director, he decided to go that direction, and that is actually helpful. And he also schooled at is schooling at Amstead, and his is he is still in progress. Then Pastor Elijah Kofi Asante, masters in divinity at IAS. His is also in progress. Then Pastor Joseph Akamieza, he has begun a doctor in ministry with preaching as his emphasis at the Andrews University. His is also in progress. Then Pastor Ruben Ponsan, clinical mental health counseling at the Andrews University. His is also in progress. And so, by God's grace, some crofua so adwumafo na conference abo omo ama omo anya ntete bio aka won adisua eso course me kan course me kire nipa bi no na omo conference mu a watu kwan ya na say ya be fa omo akọ conferences ahodo emu ya sabre wo ye adwuma e wo sa conferences no emu. Mr. Chair, the following workers received a call to other conferences during the period under review. Pastor Franco Setutu, he was called to the Central Ghana Conference in March 2021. Sarah Frimpong, he was called to the Very University in 2022. Then Pastor Charles Abuajeda Costa, he was called to the Central Ghana Conference in the year 2021. Then Pastor Davis Atta was also called to the West Central Ghana Conference in the year 2022. Then finally, Pastor Hivor Kwame Yeboah also received a call to the Mountain View Ghana Conference, March 2025. Appointments. Mr. Chair, by the grace of God, when we took over, we were able to make, some appointments, to add actually to the workforce of the Western of Ghana Conference. Below are some of the people we actually employed during the reviewed period. One, we have Pastor Enoch Eni. Also for Enoch Eni, ye fa na adwuma no ye postu no de no ko Adabo Krum 2021. Pastor Samuel Ade and also conference no e fa na adwuma e de no ko boen so ya sa broda so e wo ho 2022 e na fa na adwuma. Pastor Abraham Philemon ono so ye fa na adwuma e na postu no de no ko adwuna se sabre ya mekase de owo assigned so district as district pastor. Then we have Elder Okusenyo Jacob. He was employed as accountant at our head office over here at Sefiwi also in the year 2021. Then we have Elder Fiado Noah, the conference administrative secretary. He was also employed in the year 2024. Then Pastor Gideon Boachi Yadom, currently at Science West, was also employed in the year 2024. Pastor George Kwao, he was also employed in the year 2024 and was posted to the Dwaboso West district. Then Pastor Samuel Akresi was also employed 2024 and was posted to the Esem district. District creation. Mr. Chair, the relatively larger sizes of the Dwaboso and the Asenso West district actually compelled the administration to undertake a redemarcation exercise, resulting in the creation of the Dwaboso West and the Asenso West districts. Now, these two districts began operation on March 1, 2024. Now, this is actually how the Dwaboso district, the Dwaboso West district, the composition of the Dwaboso West district. We have New Jerusalem, Amoya, Tikobo, Kwesi Krum, Bokabo, Patakro, Besiansi, Tumantu, Afere Central, Afere New Life, Bodi Central, Bodi Paradise, Benum Sio, Aferewa, then Suyano. These churches actually comprised, the Dwaboso West district. Then when you come to the Ascension West district, we have Asempanaye, Dome, Mafia, Sayira So, Benchema Victory, Kantankrubo, New Life, Beria So, Kojina Isekrum, Nkati So, Brick Room, Komiyama, then Sayira No. These churches actually, come together to form the Ascension West district. Mr. Chair, I also want to make emphasis and put it on record that by the grace of God, all these two districts, have been inaugurated. And the respective dates for the inaugurations of these districts are, 25th October and 8 November 2025. Then some special events. Near programs are a course or conference. Ebina painful yeboboso edi akyeremu. Yentimi mboboni nyina so de nenso ebia isusu se ya adwemu esese ya stan kaka ho no. Ye share adwuma se wo conference mu no. Ye orientation edema asofo ene adwumafo ene executive committee members nyina ewo conference we mu ewo March 2021. Ye san so familiarization visit eno no ye officers no ya ye call district bia mu ekodan ho adi de kire district no eno omo ye all night ebo mpaye etwa district no conference no fonwi e de kire omo ene ye so ade hu esi conference ni so ba bi ye pese ekro eno so no ye kiri conference district how do nyina emu eye the year 2021 kro ya afei mid-year and then end of year prayer conferences. Afibia afinu be kona wiye ya conference nyina de si ho na ye mpaibo. Ya some mpaibo no eye conference mu nyina people from all over the 19 district eba ebechie mu na afi ye bo mpaye. Afinu so ye chemu so a ye san eye mid-year prayer conference ye no so no ekọ so eno no afibia no ye baako ewa afinu emu. Afi executive committee meetings eno so no quarter bia no ye executive committee meeting baako ewo quarter no emu eno so no mfie num nyina ekọ so. Then leadership council afibia no ekọ na wie ya ye tonsa e de frɛ empanfo a asoro mpanfo a wo conference mu nyina na adumaso a officers and directors aye nyina ye buhu akonta e de a kyerɛ mpanfo eno so no afibia 2022 2023 2024 ni nyina ekọ so e wo conference mu. Then hospital and hospital board meetings and also officers and gas for Ghana Adventist Health Service. There be no ye call afibia no ye call hospitals outdo mu ekohwe niema hodo a ekọ so e wo hospitals no mu and also no afibia no ye call end of year baako na ye call mid year so e baako and also ekọ so. Then we also launch Operation Safe Western of Ghana Conference. Abraham Penfo take over 2021 no we saw the need say a conference nyina ye kan ho bomu na ye raise fund bi de boa conference no eno so ye sa mobilization no e won so ya hodo nyina mu the year 2021. Then orientation for newly appointed and transferred pastors asofo bia ye be form bia no na say ye be transfer mu bia no wo mo so ye orientation ye de ma wo mo eno so no asofo bia be fa bia no sa orientation no ekoso. Then pastors and shepherdess retreat 2022 asofo e wo conference mu nyina ene won yerenom ekohia e odade so ya ye ka ye ho hye na ye hye ye ho den na yesua ni ma brebe e wo ye ministry no emu. Then women ministry congress and also women ministry department organize congresses ahodo de na esum pa mienu 2022 and 2022 no ko so e wo dade so and 2024 no e ko so e wo Bekwai district and nasa Jumadie no ekoso. Mr. Chair, by the grace of God, we were also able to organize a very splendid event with regards to ordination for 4 of our ministers on the 9th of March 2024. And these were the pastors that were actually ordained. We have Pastor Emmanuel from the Dwaboso district, Pastor Isaac Ivy from the Dadieso district, Pastor Eliot Eswa from the Amiaso district, and then Pastor Wilfred Kwansa from the Bonsun Kwanta district. In fact, this was a very well-planned program that was actually organized for these pastors. During the program, Yama asofo ni nyina preaching gown program nyina so colorful, very colorful, and by the grace of God the program went on so successfully. Nyame domu ibia ekoso kama. And so these 4 pastors were actually ordained during the review period. Pastor Bodi, Pastor Ivy, Pastor Elliot, and then Pastor Kwansa were ordained on the 9th of March 2024 here at the conference, at the conference headquarters, that is Yoso. Then, Mr. Chair, we also want to make mention of the fact that we also organized, a retirement service for one of our ministers, that is Pastor Francis Tinakwa Gyedu. By God's grace, one of our veteran ministers, Pastor F.T. Gyedu, retired in the year 2023. The year 2023, and Nyamidumu secretariat, together with the administration, bibia kama Emma ye papa ekwa ahomgie mu ewanigye ene asomdwie emu eno nso ekọ so within the conference. Challenges, Mr. Chair, following the mass cut down of cocoa trees, tens and thousands of central farmers relocated to their hometowns, causing a drastic reduction in membership, And this is what I actually mean. Most people have actually moved from the conference to their hometowns. Now, no ama no lapses bebrebe your membership here making was 19,064 no. Yes, we have this huge membership, but most of our churches you realize say numbers are more no. The office no any nipa dodo pa ya wo ho sabe no entali na a rare picture of our membership. And so we want to call for a membership audit so we can actually get an accurate membership within every district. Then again, we often, receive some reports very late, and that is actually a challenge to the secretariat. Then we also have a higher level of illiteracy, and for that matter, they are unable to work on the ACMS. And that is also a challenge that we are facing over here at the secretariat. Appreciation. Mr. Chair, special thanks goes to God Almighty for his care, guidance, and protection throughout the period under review. Again, we are grateful to our union officers for their counsel and directions. In fact, they've helped us so much. And so to our union officers, we want to say a echo to them. Then special thanks also goes to my colleague officers for their support at the secretariat. The president and then the treasurer for their support at the secretariat. Then to my able administrative secretaries, I started the office with Enoch Kwatin Eni, who later resigned in the course of the year, that is 2023 March. He contributed his quota to the growth of the secretariat. And so to our brother Enoch Eni, wherever he is, we want to recognize his effort. Then I also want to place a special emphasis with my administrative secretary, Brother Noah, for his hard work, his commitment, and then the kind of new force he has brought into the secretariat. In fact, his work over there is so remarkable. I want to say God really bless you for your hard work at the secretariat. Then finally to my able pastors, in fact, they've done a yeoman's job. They've done really well. All the pastors are doing their very best, towards the growth of the secretariat. And then to my data entry managers and all local church cracks, we want to say God bless you and bless you abundantly. Thank you so much, and may the living God bless us all. Pastor Gyedu Emmanuel, the Executive Secretary of the Western of Ghana Conference.